What is up there everyone, it's the guy with no gamer tech here, and today I wanted to talk about what Call of Duty Ghosts got right. Now first things first, they did do a good job with the connection. It's not amazing, you do get generally one good game and one bad game, and the bad games you aren't really able to do well, but you can still kill people. But in general the connection is a lot better, a massive improvement from Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3. So that is something the game I feel does need credit for, because you do actually get some pretty good hit detection. Even when you're lagging you can still kill people, unlike in Black Ops 2 where it just seemed that no matter what happened you can never kill anyone because the connection just seemed to be so intermittent and just not great in general. Now the second thing is that Ghosts actually in my view has some pretty good balance. Yeah, there were some things which I felt may have been a weeny bit overpowered, like the M27 and the IED, also the tracker sight as well, you can't forget that one. But nothing was really unbeatable. You never found that you were always dying to one thing. Yeah, you might die to it a lot in one game, but then the way the connection worked in the second game, you could then dominate them. So it's kind of 50-50 thing. It was more a case of the overpowered things dependent on the connection. If they had dedicated servers in the game, then they would have probably not really had any balance issues. Everything would have probably, in my view, been fine. The third thing I'd like to mention is that the game actually had some really good DLC. We had quite a lot of DLC weapons this year, and we got some pretty good maps. Admittedly, the last DLC in my view was actually pretty bad. I really don't like any of the maps in there, apart from the Extinction map, that was pretty cool. But in general, the DLC maps were really good. But in the same point, it is a bad point that the standard maps really were not great at all. They're bad spawns, and the map design was just not great. The problem was they had all the long lines of sight in the middle of the map, which meant that it led to a slower pace of game because no one wanted to run in the middle of the map because you'd always die to a sniper or an LMG, and it just wasn't much fun. So that is one of the bad points of the game. Now another point is that the Extinction, the Horde mode, whatever you want to call it, I felt that was actually a really good mode. I really liked it. The story was really coherent. I'm going to go more in depth in another video for Extinction, but I really did enjoy the Extinction mode in the game. Another good point of Ghost, which could actually be seen in some ways as a bad point, but I think is a good way of putting it, is that the support and specialist strike packages were greatly improved. The support strike package had a lot less lethal kill streaks. I really would have preferred if they didn't put the squad mate, and I really now feel that the ballistic vest shouldn't be in the game because they just give a too unfair advantage. But things like the air superiority, the ground jammer, the night owl, none of that in my view was overpowered. A lot of the streaks in it were balanced and they were fine. Now specialist had undergone quite a good balance where they made it so that you couldn't get all of the perks at 7 kills, because that was an issue in MW3. You could get 7 kills, which really isn't that difficult a streak. Like an average player can get that. I was a really average, probably quite a bad player in MW3, but even I could get quite a lot of specialist bonuses. And they changed it now so you didn't get all the perks, but at the same time they kind of over-nerfed it in a way. I think that the way specialists should actually work is that you continuously get more perks. So instead of having a bonus as such, or they could still be a bonus, but you just continue to earn more perks. So maybe you could, like, at 7 kills you get a bonus and you get about 3 or 4 perks, but then you can continue to earn perks after that. And that's the way I think it should work, because it's like, I understand why they nerfed it a bit, because it would have been massively overpowered with the amount of perks you get in Ghosts. But it just kind of felt a bit unrewarding. It didn't feel as rewarding as the Assault Strike package or even the support. So that is one thing that is kind of a good and bad point. Another good thing was actually the support for the game. I actually felt that Infinity Ward did quite a good job of fixing things. They nerfed the IED 3 times. Admittedly, the best way to nerf it would have been to remove it from the game, but it's unlikely they will ever do something like that, because then that'll be admitting a fault, and then they don't really want to do that. And they also buffed all the SMGs. They gave good weapon balancing. They rebalanced like the AK-12 and they buffed the SMGs. And I think they did a really good job at supporting the game and providing good patches. And even though they were quite quiet on social media, I think they did a good enough job for me personally to be satisfied. I mean, after Black Ops 2, I am satisfied, seeing as we were told the lag was in our head in that game. And that is the biggest load of crap that anyone has ever said to anyone about their product. But finally, I will just quickly touch on some of the bad points of the game. Like I said before, the map design wasn't great and the spawns really did need some work. Squad points were a good idea, but they kind of took away from the reward of the game. That's one of the main issues with the game. It didn't have much reward. If they kept it as like you need to get kills with the weapons, unlock the attachments, I really think it should have just been levels to rank up, or you needed to get a certain amount of XP, not that you just had squad points and you could buy it. Because it meant past your first prestige, it was just easy. It was just like, yeah, I've played with all the guns, I know I want that one, and that one, and I can buy it all straight away because I have a million squad points left over. Anyway guys, I really hope you've enjoyed. Tell me what you think of Ghost in the description. I admit it's quite a controversial game. Some people like it and some people absolutely hate it to the end of time. But I personally like it. I give respect for the game and I always defend it because it was a good enough game to take me away from the older games and meant that I didn't feel I wanted to go back to them. It had its good points and its bad points, but overall I think it was a good game simply because it worked. It was actually playable. Now please do like, comment, subscribe if you've enjoyed. This has been the guy with no gamertag and I'll see you on another video.